欢迎各位来到全球首档无语别青年演讲节目。Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the world first multilingual youth talk show, Hey the World!
We should not be afraid of the dark. Close your eyes and music will touch your heart. Joy, anger, and sorrow are shared emotions of all mankind. Through music, I've connected with China, a country far away. At this moment, I want to fulfill a seeking light dream in China. This is a journey with a lifetime of memories, full of light and promises. I want to sing to the world the love and happiness I feel in China. I am Shaun Gibson. Hey world. Hello everybody, my name is Shaun Gibson. I am a British artist, songwriter and producer based in Beijing. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today and to be invited by Hey the World to tell you my story. Now, ever since I was a young child, I've always loved music. Although my parents aren't musical themselves, there was always music playing at home when I was young. From the get-go, they could tell I loved performing and singing songs, and they always encouraged me to follow my dreams and my passions in life. It was while studying music at the University of Liverpool that I first came into contact with Chinese culture. One year, during my master's program, a huge wave of Chinese students suddenly appeared on the campus. And I really can't stress just how much of a dramatic change this was, because the population of the university literally doubled overnight. Having grown up in a small market town, I'd never really been exposed to foreigners in such a big way. And being a naturally very curious person, I was really excited to make some new Chinese friends. Eventually, I did make a few Chinese friends who were all really excited to share their culture with me. They took me to KTV to sing songs and introduced me to TV shows like 西游记 and 甄嬛传, with English subtitles, of course. Now, the songs I heard in KTV were really interesting to me because although they used Western instruments, the writing style was very different. They used different chord patterns to Western songs, which also meant very different sounding melodies. The writing style of the lyrics also seemed to be much more abstract than in English songs, talking about really common things like love and heartache, but in a very poetic way, full of metaphors and poetic connotations. It was through listening to Chinese songs and hearing the stories from my friends that led me to become more and more interested in Chinese culture. In fact, I became the only British member of the Liverpool Chinese Student Scholars Association. The CSSA holds numerous events throughout the year to entertain Chinese students and the local Chinese community. One of these events was a music competition, and my friend asked me to accompany him on the piano while he sang a song, 爱我别走. Of course I said yes, but using my music industry brain, I told him on one condition: he sings half and I sing the other half. It'd been a long time since I performed to a crowd of 150 people. In fact, I'd recently been performing in a local bar every week, playing to about 5 or 6 people, 3 of which were the bar staff. So I'm sure you can imagine just how nervous I was about the whole thing, especially seeing as I was about to perform in Mandarin, a language I could barely speak a word of, in front of 150 Chinese students and 3 competition judges. But I'm not the kind of person to shy away from a challenge, so I practiced hard and I threw myself into the deep end, quite literally. As I looked up at the audience from my keyboard, I could see everybody looking at me, and my heart was pounding. It was almost my turn to sing. I took a deep breath, and I bravely sang my first sentence, and nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. The crowd just burst into thunderous applause, and a huge wave of acceptance and excitement swept over me. I honestly struggled to get my second sentence out because I was just so shocked and so moved by their reaction. I'd never felt such a powerful sense of warmth from an audience in my entire life. I felt like I'd really made a connection, like I'd been accepted, and like I'd found my own musical purpose finally. That moment definitely changed the course of my life forever. I wanted to learn even more about Chinese culture. So I packed my bags and I went on a 6-week trip to cities all across China. On my travels, what struck me most was the sheer scale, contrast, and variety of everything here. There are ultra-modern cities, stunning landscapes, and ancient monuments. I couldn't believe that I could fly for 4 hours on a plane and still be in the same country. Because, UK, we're very great, but we're also very small. The vastness and the variety of literally everything here fascinated me, and it just blew my mind wide open. It was while I was in Chengdu that I stumbled across a lady playing pipa in a shopping center. I couldn't believe just how amazing the sound of pipa was and how big of a crowd she'd drawn. I'd heard and seen pipa before in the UK, but it was always shown as part of a Chinese traditional culture show, where they'd shown us traditional Chinese instruments, Chinese musical instruments, dances, and tea ceremonies, explaining that all of these traditions are thousands of years old. So although I found it interesting, I just thought that it all belonged to history, and these cultural things were no longer relevant to the lives of modern Chinese people. But after listening to that pipa player in Chengdu, I realized that pipa is still very much a part of modern Chinese culture. I love the natural sounds of pipa and other traditional Chinese instruments too, and I really wanted to see how it would sound if I combined them together with more Western, more electronic sounding instruments. I've been living in China now on and off for around the last 5 years and traveling to so many places too. I've written songs all about my travels in Yunnan, Guangxi, Sichuan, and many more places. I've added pipa, dizi, yangqing, suona, and many other traditional Chinese instruments into my music productions, including local ethnic minority instruments as well. Traveling around China is fantastic inspiration for me because I get to meet people who live completely different lives to my own. I get to hear ancient musical instruments that are brand new to my ears and see the most amazing sights. All of this is fantastic songwriting material. But unfortunately, travel is something that is likely to become more and more difficult for me in the next few years. I've got an eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. I've never really seen the world in the way that normal people do, but it was when I was 12 years old that I was diagnosed with this disease. It's a gradual loss of vision, starting at the peripheral field and slowly moving its way into the center until there's nothing left. There's no real way of telling how long this process will take or how fast someone's vision will deteriorate. In my case, I now have less than 6% vision remaining. And in 2019, the doctor told me that in his experience, I only have 5 years left until I'll be totally blind. Every time I lose a bit more vision, I feel like I've lost a small part of myself. Losing your eyesight over the period of decades is like being involved in a car crash in slow motion. You tend to forget you even have a problem until you lose a little bit more. And with that vision loss, you lose a little bit more of your freedom. It's impossible to plan for as well, because it happens so slowly. All I can do is take care of my general health, just like everybody should, and adapt each time it gets worse. But I try my best not to let my eye disease affect the person that I am, or the music that I make. I still have a small amount of central vision left, so I can still use a computer, and I can create my own music productions. And even if the day does finally come where I can no longer see the screen, see the computer screen, I'll just learn how to use adaptive technologies and visual aids, just like so many of my blind friends, my blind musicians. I also have some really close friends around me who are there to support me, and that's really important. It'll be challenging at first, but I'll just have to adapt. Just like how now, whenever I'm traveling to new places, I'll always hold the arm of my friend, or I'll carry my white cane and tip-tap that beautiful thing down the street. It's something that you slowly get used to. I love making music, and I'll never stop making music. Besides, I now have my fans to take care of too, and I really want to keep them happy. Beyond that, I want to use my music as a way to connect the world together. The beauty of music is that it transcends the language barrier, so everyone can understand it in their own way, no matter where they're from. Whenever I rewrite a Chinese song in English, add a traditional Chinese instrument into my music, or wear hanfu in one of my music videos, I'm sharing elements of Chinese culture with the world. I really hope that my music and my videos can be seen as an example of how people from different cultures can learn from each other and celebrate their differences, rather than using them to spread fear and division. By combining what I think are the best elements of Western music and Chinese music together, I've created a new, unique style that brings together the melodies of the East and the rhythms of the West I fused together the traditional and the modern, electronic sounds with natural sounds, English with Mandarin, and even ancient Chinese poetry. I hope people can feel the fusion of these elements in my music and that they enjoy it. There is definitely still a huge cultural divide between Asia and the West in all aspects of industry and culture. For this to change, we need more people from all areas of art, culture, entertainment, and business to cross those cultural divisions and transcend those supposed boundaries. If everybody on the planet thought in the same way, dressed the same way, spoke in the same way, ate food in the same way, then this world would be a very boring place. Different shouldn't be scary, it should be exciting. After all, variety is the spice of life. I encourage everybody, old or young, to go out there and see the world for yourselves. Learn another language. Listen to the music and look at the culture and the art from other countries. Go and live abroad for a while and become the foreigner. I guarantee it will give you a new perspective on life, and you'll realize that we're all humans, and our similarities far outweigh our differences. Although we all face difficulties in life, also, we all face difficulties in life. But just like a flower grows up from the dirt, so too can we. Whenever life throws dirt at you, dive in deep and find that seed of positive change. Grow tall, bloom brightly, and spread your beautiful fragrance all across the world. No matter what life throws at me, whether I can see the world or not, I will always have music. I want to use my gift of music to spread joy and spread understanding with the world. I want to do my part to bridge the gap between China and the West and create the world of peace that I want to live in. I hope that you can use your skills and your talents to do the same. Thank you for listening.
And thank you so much for Shaun for sharing your stories and your opinions with us. And I know you just said in your speech that the beauty of the music is that it transcends language barriers, so everyone can understand it in their own way, and no matter where they are from. So can you explain a little bit why you think the music can just break through all the obstacles and to get everyone know about it?
The way I think is like this, because whenever I'm rewriting songs from Chinese into English, or if I'm writing songs, like original songs myself, I'm always thinking that I'm actually translating life. I'm translating the world in a way that is very different to other languages. So I think music is a language in itself, because it's just sound, but it's using sound in order to express and translate life. You know, like music in a movie. But most people don't even realize it's there until you take it away. It's that extra character. It's what music is what tells you how you should be feeling in this moment. And also, in terms of transcending cultural divides, I think my own YouTube channel is a great example of that, because I have some followers from Russia who are watching a British guy singing in Chinese. Now, if that's not transcending cultural boundaries, I don't know what is. I just think that's fabulous.
That's really fantastic. Actually, many Chinese friends love your music so much, and Shaun also said in his speech that he likes Chinese national musical instruments and also traditional culture very much. We have someone over there, as you can see, she is wearing a really, really nice dress, and hopefully she will explain her dress to you.
That's beautiful. Can you stand up and give us a twirl? I really want to see it. That's really nice, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I like your headpiece. I can't wear those.
Not only the Huafu, but also other traditional Chinese cultural elements into the Western style pop music. So in fact, among our global representatives, they have many, many questions to you, and probably they have some opinions with the cultural exchange. So let's give them a time. Is that okay?
肖恩老师您好，大家好，我是盛思腾。其实我是从很小开始就有在接触民乐的。我刚刚在听您分享的时候，就有突然想到，我们的传统诗词当中也有很多形容民乐声音的诗句，比如说我们会用大珠小珠落玉盘去形容琵琶的声音。在我自己看来呢，我们传统民乐的每一种乐器，甚至是每一台乐器，它的音色都是独一无二的。那也就是这种独一无二，构成了我们民乐独一无二的魅力。 我们所说的现代音乐呢，它其中就包含着更加多元、更加丰富的元素和旋律，可以说是完全不同的音乐相互碰撞的时候，出现了令人惊奇的效果。那我也有听过您的作品，我非常的荣幸能够听到这么精彩、这么美丽的音乐作品，谢谢您。然后刚刚也有看到您也有展示您自己身穿汉服的服装，我自己也是一名汉服的爱好者。那在我看来呢，无论是我们的民乐还是汉服，它的共同特点就是它都在传递着一种属于中国的审美和一种属于中国的力量。我也非常高兴能够看到这种中国审美能够吸引到像您这样的外国友人，我们也希望能够把这种审美传递给更多的人。谢谢您。
谢谢谢谢。
Thank you so much. So, is there anyone else?
Hey Shaun, my name is Timo. It's terrific to finally meet you in person. I am a university student from Kazakhstan, studying here in China. So currently, a part of my studies is based on learning Chinese ancient poems. So I'm really a big fan of them. And I'm sure, just like me, a lot of people here would also love to see you implementing some of these Chinese poems and parts of them into your own music, turning it to a great present not only for the Chinese people, but people like me, foreigners that come here to study Chinese.
So that's the reason why the international students and also the other countries' friends loves our Chinese music and also the poem so much. That is perfect. Thank you so much. And Shaun just said that he hoped that he would become the bridge of communication between the West and the East. And with globalization and the modern science and technologies, there are more international exchange and communications between each other. And also there's more countries have begun to pay attention to the cultural exchange. So Shaun is working hard in the field of music. So I really want to know what other cultural exchange you guys have to share with us.
Добрый день, меня зовут Пождава Александра. Спасибо за ваше душевное выступление. Я верю, что изучение языков открывает нам погружение в новую культуру, способствует сплочению народов всего мира. В будущем я бы хотела переводить истории, может быть, даже писать свои произведения на китайском языке и делиться с нашими китайскими друзьями историей России. Спасибо.
Thank you so much for sharing. And is anyone else?
Mi nombre es Wilson y soy de Cuba y quiero primero decirte que me encanta lo que haces, me gusta mucho tu trabajo y tus resultados porque yo comprendo que en lo que tú haces hay dos factores muy importantes que son la unión de culturas distantes, la cultura tradicional china y la cultura europea o occidental, y también está la unión entre lo moderno y lo tradicional. O sea, hay dos factores, tiempo y espacio. Entonces, a mí me gustaría también decir que yo que vengo de un país latinoamericano, yo soy de Cuba, en mi país tenemos la mezcla de varias culturas y de varias formas de música, de la música africana, de la música europea, que han dado lugar a la música de mi país. Y eso también es un intercambio cultural muy grande. Y luego yo creo que tú fomentas la amistad y el entendimiento entre muchas partes del mundo. Por eso que también me gustaría felicitarte por eso.
Thank you so much.
Well, I think that's, I think we're very much in line with our way of thinking, really. And I'd actually also be very interested to hearing the music from your guys' countries as well, because it's not exclusively Chinese music that I'm interested in. It's everywhere. So who knows, my next album might be Congo music.
Okay, is there anyone else wanted to share something?
肖恩你好，非常感谢你精彩的那个发言。我非常认同你刚才说的，就是我们应该多出去走走看看，了解更多国家的那个文化和艺术，因为我相信这样会帮助我们开拓视野，拓展我们的思维，可以更加认识、理解乃至包容这个世界。我也非常赞赏你通过音乐的方式来促进东西方文化的交流，所以我觉得音乐是对于文化来说是一种非常好的载体。音乐里面包含的文化会进行相互碰撞，它会产生出我认为的一种非常美妙的化学反应。我相信在这个互联网时代，会有越来越多的像肖恩你一样的那个青年，会化身各国家文化交流的使者，然后他们会通过可能不仅音乐， 他们会通过诗歌、通过服装或通过绘画更多的形式，为促进这个世界的文化进行交流互鉴，进行让大家相互理解，构建更多的桥梁。
Thank you. Actually, I really want to introduce that those are our members from the Global Youth Representative, but we have a lot of the audience overseas right now, and they are watching our talk show right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now let's have a look what they are talking to us.
Okay.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es World丨, mi nombre chino es Chen Weijie y soy de Panamá. Estoy muy de acuerdo con ese dicho. La belleza de la música es que cruza la barrera de idiomas. La música no conoce fronteras. Admiro que, como extranjero, tenga un conocimiento tan profundo de la música china. Puede sentir muchos elementos chinos en sus canciones, ya sea la incorporación de la ópera de Pekín o el uso de instrumentos musicales tradicionales chinos. Permítanos, creo que este es un buen ejemplo y una forma de comunicación entre la música china y la extranjera. Su música realmente difunde la cultura china desde la perspectiva de los extranjeros. Espero que pueda crear más canciones buenas, difundir esa música de estilo chino en el mundo y permitir a que más personas les guste la música y la cultura china.
Thank you so much. Shaun, thank you so much. And you just gave us excellent stories to all the audience. And now, please let it up with your proposal.
I propose we should all embrace diverse cultures and art, despite our individual challenges.
Thanks to Shaun for your really wonderful speech and the propose. And now Shaun, he gonna give us his song. So now this is Shaun's showtime.
Gonna pack a bag, start living my dreams. Find a place where the sworn out sings. There must be more to see than the TV shows. Hop aboard the famous Gautier, head into the countryside for cleaning. Make friends in the city to show me around, who knows. When I'm gone, oh don't miss me when I'm gone. I'll be on the greatest journey since walk home. Way beyond the beaten tracks where I belong. Find my own. Oh, I've climbed the highest mountain, saw the valley from the sky. Even sailed the Yangtze River from Chongqing to old Shanghai. Just so all the sweet adventures of my life won't pass me by. Take a journey through the country where red dragons lurk inside. Emperors, temples, follow dynasties, terracotta men, ethnic minorities, myths of dragons, snakes, ghosts, and flying monkeys. Ahu and Kung Fu in the park, there's barbecue way after dark, plaza dancing when the music starts. When I'm gone, I'll be the one who's calling you, hanging out with the pandas in Chengdu, wondering how I make music with Chinese goo. Don't know about you. Oh, I've climbed the highest mountain, saw the valley from the sky. Even sailed the Yangtze River from Chongqing to old Shanghai. Just so all the sweet adventures of my life won't pass me by. Take a journey through the country where red dragons lurk inside. Cause I've played around in Hainan, building castles out of sand, just to find myself in Bombay with a snowball in my hand. But the single greatest wonder in this far-off ancient land is the more I learn, the more I find there's left to understand.
So let's give a big round of applause to Shaun. Give us such a nice music today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for your really amazing speech and the propose. Today we are all motivated by Shaun, and I hope that His energy can also inspire more other young people to foster intercultural communications and connect China to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey the world, see you next time.
Bye. We need more people from all areas of art, culture, entertainment, and business to cross those cultural divisions and transcend those supposed boundaries.
我们需要更多来自不同艺术、文化和娱乐领域的人。
Et des affaires à surmonter les divisions culturelles et à transcender les frontières supposées.
If everybody on the planet thought in the same way, dressed the same way, spoke in the same way, ate food in the same way, then this world would be a very boring place.
إن كان كل شخص على هذا الكوكب يفكر ويرتدي ويتحدث ويأكل بنفس الطريق، فسيكون هذا العالم مملاً جداً.
Different shouldn't be scary, it should be exciting. After all, variety is the spice of life.
Различия не должны пугать, они должны